Alan, thanks for joining me. I know it's in the evening for you. It's early in the morning for me, but I really appreciate your time.
No worries. Thank you for
So,
having me.
yeah. Tell us a little bit about your story, your first interaction with Keith.
So, how my experience happened with Keith was I actually reached out to him on Twitter. I put a video of myself playing the solo to Better Life. Have you heard the song? It's a great
Yeah.
song. So I posted a video and I basically asked him, can I come to Brisbane and play with you, even though I live in Adelaide? So had no flights booked or anything, just thought, why not? Might as well try it. And then he was doing a Twitter Q&A in Sydney. So basically he saw it and he sent me a video message back saying, come to Brisbane, come and play. You can get up, you can hang and, let's play. So then I had his manager calling me like an hour later, trying to work out sound checks and guitars and things like that. So then I had to organise flights, accommodation. So then I flew out, saw him. So sound check for him was 3 p.m. So I got there. He actually wasn't there yet. So they were working out what guitar of his I was going to use. And I was like, look, any's fine, right? And he's just like, the manager was like, you can use any guitar you want. So the guitar tech handed me his 64 Strat. And I was like, wow, this is his 64 Strat. And then he tapped me on the shoulder and went, nice guitar, right? And then, we got talking, stuff like that. And then we had to decide the song. So I had previously given his management a list of songs that I knew of his. And it had I had to include songs off the Ripcord album because that was the tour that he was on, and then songs that I knew off his other albums. So he went through it, and the original song I was supposed to play was Boy Gets a Truck. But Keith saw it and he goes, there's not enough guitar work in it. He goes, do you know Good Thing? And I went, yeah, I do actually. And he goes, we're doing that because then we can trade solos, we can do little licks, things like that. I was like, awesome. So we put on the guitars, we went on stage and we played it through about once, right? And after that, he goes, yeah, you'll be fine. He goes, just, do your thing, you'll be fine. Anyway, so then we just started chatting for the rest of sound check. Like we only sound checked for like the 3-minute song, and then we were chatting for like 45 minutes to an hour. So after that, he's just like, stay for tea. So we got to stay for tea. He gave us all access passes. So we're just walking around backstage and, like Carrie Underwood was there. So I got to see her and talk to her, which was awesome. And some of my guitar, I know, she was really nice. Some of my guitar heroes, like, do you know Sean Tubbs? You heard of him? Yeah, he's a really great guitarist from Nashville. And I was watching him even before he'd come to Australia. And there he was standing in front of me. So he was giving me little tips and I got to play a few of his guitars. So it was awesome to be there with him. And yeah, so then it was time to play. So they, gave me in-ears and made sure the packs were all ready. Keith introduced me, walked up, did the song. It was awesome. It was amazing because I'd never seen so many heads in one place. Like you look out on the stage, it's just a sea of heads, but it was awesome. Played the song, walked off, and there was this whole crew waiting for me, and they're all hugging and high-fiving and things like that. So it was just amazing, and then after the show, I got to see his mum. So it was great, I got to talk to her, and yeah, then I saw him, and then he ended up going home. So, and I did too. So that was basically it. So yeah.
Very cool. So how large of an arena is that?
I think it's about 17,000, but I'm not 100% sure. So it was pretty big. Well, probably the biggest show I've played. So
Right. And what had you done up to that point? How did you get to that point as far as learning to play and what's?
So I've been playing guitar since I was 8 years old. So I was playing in cover bands from when I was about 12. So just playing and just practicing, come home from school playing 3 to 4 hours a day. Don't worry about the school work, that comes later. So I was doing that. And then, even throughout my teens, I was playing in some of the top bands in my hometown of Port Pirie, just playing the circuit around South Australia. Then in 2014, I had the opportunity to go on stage with an Australian artist called Reese Maston. He was doing a singing competition and I reached out and went, look, I'm a guitarist. Can I join? He's like, sure. So I got to play one song with him, which was awesome. So, and then, yeah, a couple of years later, then the Keith thing happened. So, I've been playing all through my years and I've just mainly been playing guitar, but now I'm starting to sing. So I'm starting to do my own artist kind of thing, which is great.
Oh, very cool. Are you writing songs too?
I've only just started, but I'm working with a songwriter who had toured America and just come back to SA, which is great. So he's been mainly doing the writing. I've been doing the musical side of things, but I have kind of contributed, but I'm just learning in that aspect. So hopefully I'll get better at it.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, yeah. You just keep on keeping on. So I
Exactly.
saw where you did come to the States, and I missed you then. But how did you like it?
Yeah, so I've been to the States twice. Oh, I loved it. I said to my parents, I'm like, can I move here? I went to Nashville in 2018, and that was awesome. That was for my 21st birthday. So I got to check out places like the Grand Ole Opry, the Ryman, Broadway, places like that. And it was great just to see the talent that's in Nashville. There's so many talented artists and people there. And it was great to meet these people and network. But the last trip I had, which was only January, I went for Winter NEM, which is in Anaheim, and I went with my guitar strap company, the Guitar Strap and Co. They're awesome guys. They're a guitar strap company based in Perth. So they invited me to go, so I went, and it was just awesome. I got to see people like Orianthi, Phil X, Nita Strauss, and some of my guitar heroes. And yeah, even Lindsay L was there, so it was great. Yeah,
Oh,
so I love the States. I'd move there if I could.
oh yeah. Well, next time let me know, and maybe I can help you out with some places. I know. Have you been to Atlanta?
No, I haven't. Next trip, I'm going to include another few states. It was only just, I did California and Nevada on the last trip. So next
Yeah.
time I want to do mainly like Nashville, Miami, Atlanta. I want to do like Chicago, places, different places in America. So
Right.
yeah.
So I'm trying to think how the flights go. Do you normally come to the West Coast from
So,
Australia?
so our first flight, so say from me for Adelaide, I'd have to catch a flight from Adelaide to one of the major cities like Sydney, Melbourne or Brisbane. And then from there, we fly into LA or San Francisco, but there is a flight that goes to Dallas as well. So it depends where you're going and
Right.
obviously,
Right.
price and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a long flight. It's about 14 hours from Sydney, but it's well worth it to go.
Yeah. We need to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world. So how is it different there now?
So our gigging has been reduced heavily due to COVID-19. So I haven't actually played a gig since February, right? Just as the restrictions come in. At the moment, people are doing mainly like Facebook lives and just videos on Instagram, which I've been doing a couple of Instagram videos and stuff like that. I've got a few things happening in the pipeline with videos I'm about to release with the other guitarists. So, but yeah, there's not a lot going on based on COVID, and I'm sure that's happening in America too. But I'm kind of happy that, hopefully we're getting on top of it. I hope to get out playing soon, but I'd rather everyone be happy and healthy before that happens. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
How about over there?
Yeah, very similar. We definitely haven't had any gigs or anything, and probably, restaurants are able to still operate, and you can do drive-through or pick up, curbside or
Yeah,
delivery, those kinds of things. But live events are based on people coming together in large groups. So
exactly.
you've got a lot of venues. They've got zero income right now. They're completely shut down, and they're not able to.
Exactly.
So we may be losing some venues at some point, or either that or they trade hands. I don't know. Maybe people take
Yeah.
opportunities to buy them, but yeah,
Definitely, that's the sad part about it. I feel for the venues and even the musicians who are like obviously relying on gigs to pay their bills. Like we have one iconic pub in Adelaide that was about to shut the doors, and the government actually stepped in and gave them a grant to keep, like the doors open after COVID. But it is sad because these businesses are relying on entertainment and tourism and people to come in and buy their items or whatever they're selling, and they can't really do that. It's sad.
yeah. So since Keith, you're now moving into singing and maybe writing
Yeah.
music. What do you look for in the future?
So at the moment, I'm looking to head into the studio in the next few months just to get the originals actually done. I've got 12 written that I've picked, but I'm going to go in and record an EP of about 6. I'm hoping to do 7 with, I might even put maybe a Keith Urban song on there or something, because a lot of people have asked me, they're like, can you cover a Keith Urban one? I'm like, sure can. they're all great songs. So
Right.
I'm hoping to do about 6 or 7, depending on obviously studio time, and especially with this COVID, I don't know when I can actually get in. But because a lot of my musicians have gone, look, I can't really leave the house and stuff like that. But I'm going to do the best I can, so that's what I'm hoping for, and then I'll release that because I haven't actually released any music because I've been focusing on myself, my guitar, my voice, things like that, to get it to a certain standard to be able to do what I want to do. And yeah, just doing that. But also on the other side, I've actually just finished a Bachelor of Teaching. So I've got a university degree in teaching. So at least I can do that in the meantime. And, schools are still open. So at least I've still got some sort of an income to fund my music. So yeah, that's what I've been doing with my life since really the Keith Urban thing, and just pushing and, trying to get as many trips to the States in as I can to network and perform and do whatever I can. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing.
Oh, well, nice. So I didn't know that. So you have a teaching degree, and so you are a teacher. What grade?
So I do secondary, so anything from like year 7 to year 12. So yeah, I'm actually trained in music and history. So I had to throw music in there when I went to uni.
Right.
I was actually studying that before the Keith Urban experience happened. And I thought about, I went, oh, do I just get up and just move and do music? But I made a commitment to my parents and said that I'd finish my degree. So I wanted to finish it for them and for me because I'd already started. So, but I did enjoy it. It was great to incorporate the music. And along the way, I've been doing music on the side, as in, like gigs on the weekend while I've been prepping myself for this EP release and the studio time. So I'm glad it's kind of happened that way, which is good.
What other kind of things do you do outside of music?
Outside music, so basically, I just like hanging out with my friends, my family. I used to play tennis for like a club locally in my hometown of Port Pirie, but the thing was that it was Friday night, so it was a bit hard to either gig or play tennis. I'm like, well, which one I'm going to pick. So,
Yeah.
but I really enjoyed that. But just hanging out with my mates, even just having band practice or stuff like that. Mainly, really, music's been my life for the past, well, since I was really 8 years old. So,
Right.
it's just hard because every weekend I'd be playing somewhere, whether it's in a duo, a solo, or um, like a band setting. So, yeah, it's really hard to fit other things in, but I love hanging out with my mates. That's a fun thing to do.
Right. Yeah. So the different kinds of music. So obviously you like Keith. There's a tie there. He's from Australia. He
Yep,
is a country music artist, but I know that you very much play a lot of rock and roll stuff. So what
I do.
do you like?
So I like all music. I really started off when I was young listening to people like Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses, people like that. Like, because obviously my dad is actually a drummer, so he was into a lot of rock music. So I grew up listening to rock music, and then when I joined cover bands, I was playing a lot of rock music. But as soon as I discovered country music, it was just, oh, this is great. But the hardest thing, say in South Australia, is you can't go out and play it because it's not very popular, as in everyone wants to hear covers and rock covers. Like they love like 500 Miles, and there's a song by Dale Braithwaite who you wouldn't know who he is, but he's like an Australian artist and he does these horses and everyone asks for it. So, you get into different kind of genres through that. But, I love just listening to country and playing country, in my room here. Like, I'll learn a solo by like, say a Luke Combs songs. I'll go and learn one of his solos, or I just love it. Like I love Miranda Lambert. She's great. Carrie Underwood, all these major artists are just great. So yeah,
Yeah.
I do listen to a lot of different music.
Yeah. So when you go to concerts, is it more country or rock?
Well, it's hard to get American country artists out here. Like you've got CMC Festival, but I'm in Adelaide, so it's a bit hard to get up there. But like when they come, I'm there, like even if
Right.
it's Melbourne, like I was trying to get tickets for Miranda Lambert, but then she cancelled due to COVID-19. But otherwise I would have gone that. But, like I'll go, like Bon Jovi will come, I'll go see them, and a lot of other artists. But every time Keith comes, I'm there. I just
Yeah.
love to support him in any way that I can because he's such a genuine and nice guy. Like he can't do enough for you. He's really nice.
Yeah. He's really cool. He does a lot of covers too, and
He does.
I've seen a lot of his covers are more on the rock side too, and I don't know the whole story of how he got into country, but yeah, he adds a
We,
little more guitar to it.
yeah. Yeah, we actually had a bit of a chat with him about that because my father actually come with me to Brisbane when I played with Keith. So he hopped on the plane with me and just drove me out there. And him and Keith are around a similar age. So they were talking about the cover scene back in like the 90s and stuff. And he was saying how he played in cover bands along Brisbane and played all these covers, and he loved rock stuff. But I think down like in his heart, he loved that country twang. And, you know, I just think he just loves that, you know, lots of different genres. Like he plays everything. He's just an amazingly talented musician and artist.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He's really cool. And what's really cool,
He's cool.
so Rob Joyce's video blew up, and the messages I get off of that video are, wow, I was not a country music fan until I saw this video or this song, you know, and so they've kind of converted.
Yeah.
And so you start picking up on some other artists, similar artists, and then also moving
Exactly.
into more country. So it's
Yeah,
really
nah, Rob did a really great job of that song. I did see it. I think it was just a bit before I actually played with Keith, and I went,
yeah.
wow, this guy can really play. No, he did it really well. Great job he
Yeah.
did.
Now the difference with his video is people always ask, you know, was it planned? And his actually was not planned at all. He just had a
Yeah,
sign. He got pulled on stage, which Keith does that a lot too, right?
he does.
But yours really was planned, and it was orchestrated
Yeah,
over a period of
yeah,
time.
it was organised. Yeah, it was organised within 24 hours. So it was kind of like I had all the earpieces. Like, you know, a lot of people are like, was it planned? I'm like, yeah, it was. You know, they had the
Right.
earpieces, but he did. If you watch the video, does say how he did a Twitter Q&A, so he explains what had happened before he brought me up. So
Right.
yeah, but yeah, it was planned. So
I was doing a Twitter chat the other day down in Sydney, and I got this person who sent in a video of themselves playing guitar, and they said, I want to come and play for you, and I said, come on. So, she is from South Australia, she's 19, she's here, Ellen, where you at, baby? Ellen, come on out, baby. Come on up here, Ellen. You can introduce yourself to everybody. Come on out here. Come up here. So tell us your full name.
Ellen Tefanis,
Ellen Tefanis, and you're from where in SA?
Port Pirie.
Port Pirie.
I really appreciate it. You know, you taking the time to talk with me, and we'll definitely do it again soon, and maybe we'll put together a larger group, and we'll all talk together.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
All right. You have a good evening.
You too. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you, Ellen.
No worries. See you later.
All right.